The setting for CDPR's upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 game will be the cosmopolitan Night City, which is found in the free state of Northern California. Home to a populace of over 5 million, hosting millions of tourists on an annual basis, and famous for its slogan, "The City on the Edge of Tomorrow," Night City is often cited as a paragon of technological triumph over the troubles of the past. Troubles of the past is probably an understatement. The history of Night City is a bloody and violent affair. Few may know it was originally called Coronado City. In the 90s, the plans for Coronado City were originally conceived by Richard Knight, who was a partner in the construction company Haley Ferris and Knight. Haley Ferris and Knight enjoyed great success during the early 90s. However, Richard decided to leave to found his own company, Knight International. Richard's dream was to build the perfect urban community, which, fortuitously, aligned with the interests of several megacorporations. At the time, American society was beginning to collapse, and megacorps wanted to establish their own urban areas of tranquility in order to minimize crime, poverty, and debt. Prominent megacorps, including Arasaka, EBM, and Petrochem, provided Mr. Knight with the necessary capital to start his project. Following the acquisition of financial backing, Mr. Knight required a suitable location for Coronado City. The Central California coast met all his requirements. Logistically, it faced the Pacific Ocean to the west, which meant seaport potential and also access to the planned train intercontinental maglev. Furthermore, one of Mr. Knight's backers, Petrochem, already owned both the drilling rights and large quantities of land in the Del Coronado Bay region. Despite his noble intentions, Richard Knight's vision for the future and innovative architectural designs ultimately led to his demise. In order to construct the city on the edge of tomorrow, Mr. Knight utilized many novel building techniques. This meant all the construction companies, including Knight's former partners Haley and Ferris, were rapidly becoming obsolete and started to spiral into a financial quagmire. Out of desperation, these old associates turned to the mob to stay afloat. Thus, Knight's success caused great resentment, and subsequently a systematic campaign of hate and abuse was launched at Mr. Knight, with a myriad of incidents occurring on a daily basis for 4 years. Mr. Knight, a resilient individual and with his plans in motion, tolerated the abuse, but as the threats escalated, he called in support from his corporate allies. The megacorps, not wanting to jeopardize their financial investments, began dealing with the perpetrators with extreme prejudice. Despite being under the protection of the megacorps, if history has taught us anything, it's that you can kill anyone. On September 20th, 1998, Richard Knight met his demise, executed in his penthouse suite on Parkview Tower. While the killer was never apprehended, the newly appointed city council officially renamed Coronado City as Night City in honor of Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight's removal would prove to be the catalyst for the most violent period of Night City's brief existence. The subsequent power struggle between the mob and corporations soon divided the city. The mob were absolutely ruthless. Gangs such as the Blood Raisers and Slaughterhouse began to gain notoriety. A far cry from the original vision of the city on the edge of tomorrow, Night City was now synonymous with hell on earth. Homicide rates and violence reached unprecedented levels never seen before in America. This troublesome period lasted for 4 years until the corporations decided enough was enough and unleashed their full armamentorium against the mob's ill-prepared cadres. The bodies the paramilitary buried during that time laid the foundations of what Night City would become. The corporations restored order within Night City, but for the average person, the respite was short-lived. The implementation of draconian policies resulted in new forms of social turmoil amongst the city's populace. The compulsory renovation of buildings to meet Night City's new requirements left many of the current occupants unable to pay the rent for their upgraded homes, and they were subsequently made homeless. The Night City of Cyberpunk 2077 will be far removed from the dark days of the corporate and mob conflict, but it is still an uneasy peace. Guns are ubiquitous, and human nature remains unchanged. The past is often just a reflection of the future, so who knows what troubles lurk amongst the shadows of Night City, ready to show itself at an opportune moment. I am Kazuliski, and I hope you found this succinct discussion on the history of Night City to be informative. Thank you for watching.